Hand clap to the massive brothers and sisters. We are finally back. We finally made it to another reaction on this YouTube platform, of course, Brbptv YouTube channel, brothers and sisters. Big up yourself, be real, be positive in that regard right there. And of course, I might be dropping another one on a Mr. Leaks reaction, guys. So if I do, that link will be in the first comment in the comment box below, guys. But of course, welcome to every single one of you guys who tuned into this here reaction. Round of applause goes up to every single one of you guys. Big up yourself one time out large all over the entire universe and across the entire galaxy, brothers and sisters. Big up yourself one time in that regard right there. I think the galaxy is much smaller than the universe, so you know, vice versa. All right, big up on yourself one time, brothers and sisters. Don't forget to do what? Click the like button. I would appreciate that. Click the thumbs up button, and of course that'll help the algorithm to push these videos further and further. Of course, don't forget to subscribe and turn on that post notification, of course helping the channel to grow when you subscribe. And of course, you'll be notified when I drop my videos right there and then. Okay guys, so definitely subscribe, whether it's now or in between the videos or later on, brothers and sisters. Subscribe so you can get the vibrations as they tend to come through right there. Without further ado, brothers and sisters, I saw a very disturbing video, and of course this is the video right here. What exactly is going on, brothers and sisters? I tend to ask myself this question: what exactly is going on? And of course we're going to listen to this right here.
The healthcare system.
Healthcare system. Caressa is talking about the healthcare system in Dominica. All right.
I mean, I heard some doctors even from overseas calling and trying to talk about our healthcare like as if it's like nothing.
It is nothing. Are you talking about Dr. Dangleben, a legend in the medical field, legendary himself in the medical field? So don't you think that they would know if the hospital is going up and down? I've heard individuals tell me, brothers and sisters, that the hospital today is better than what back. What? The hospital today is better than what was back then? We have nicer buildings today. True, if that's what you're talking about. But when it comes to the healthcare, we could care less about buildings, brothers and sisters. There was operations that people from the Caribbean used to come to Dominica. How on earth can a man tell me that the healthcare in Dominica is better today than it was back then, when people from overseas were flying in or taking boat, fishing boat back to culture, whatever it is, to come to Dominica to have operations, brothers and sisters, in Portsmouth. In Portsmouth, they have something known as Smart Hospital. Brothers and sisters, I don't even want to. Elas, release me, please, brothers and sisters, because they have a Smart Hospital that dumb like whatever. It's dumb. Why is it dumb? Because the basis of Smart Hospital is because you can walk into a room and the light come on. Let's continue.
And every one of them who have had an experience up there, they come back and testify how well it is up there. I mean, Clarence, you know it is
up where? Up where? Brothers and sisters, we know much people have died in the hospital. They now call the hospital the Morgupital. They call it the Morgupital. Manfred to go. I don't want to mention her name, but Fadina apparently seemed to have been afraid to go to the hospital until he reached to a point where she couldn't have helped it to go to the hospital, brothers and sisters. Mankind is afraid. They are scared, they are fearful. I remember my father saying, if he have to die in the hospital, take him out of there. He rather die at his home in peace, father. Eh? Ay, ay, ay. And he's not the only one. I heard another elderly saying, boy, if I'm not a hospital then I'm sick, Gasa put me on herbs. I will rather survive on herbs. And you talking as if the hospital is the best?
Everything is not perfect. We have our challenges.
Of course it's not perfect. It is worse than how it was before, and back in the day it wasn't perfect. So that's to tell you how far down the drain it is going.
But you know what we had before the Dominica China Friendship Hospital?
Yes, I remember it.
We used to have a little casualty, one little area.
You're talking about the size. You see, that's the problem, brothers and sisters. This is not the size that matters. Ladies, do you agree? It is not the size that matters, brothers and sisters. It is the quality that of which that size can produce. When you're talking about a small thing, was that small thing producing quality for individuals?
I remember time I got some allergic reaction, and I did in one little room taking a liquor drips, and it had about 3 or so people waiting to come in the same room.
How much people was dying in that room? Huh? How much people were dying in that room?
Now, if you go to the casualty department at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital, it's like you are in a hotel.
He's right. He's right. The building is nicer than it was before. I would have to say yes, that is true. But when you're talking about healthcare, it has absolutely nothing to do with the building. It has to do with the quality of the operation, that of which healthcare can be provided for the citizens and non-citizens, that of which will be participating within that building. So you want to give rise to the nice looking building? Okay.
Hospital by itself.
You understand? Just that little section. And you've been always talking about the dialysis, Clarence. I mean, gone were the days when people had to be waiting on one dialysis machine.
That's nice.
One.
But like I'm telling you,
One.
I get to know about dialysis, machines and dialysis.
Who's Mister? Who's that partner? Who's that guy, guys? Who's that guy?
When I had just left school and I just left from college and I was working, I picked up a temporary job basically with a guy called Brbptv.
At least you could pick up a temporary job. Man, in this day and age, is the temporary job they're picking up so they can have for their career, brothers and sisters. NDP is supposed to be a temporary job. It's liner. Well, anyways, that is outside of the whole discussion. But let's continue.
Used to have a feed shop on Kennedy Avenue. Used to be running Reggae's Hotel. Used to be running Newfoundland Estate. And then he was the treasurer of Dominica Club.
It have clubs today, no? It have clubs today? What clubs it have, brothers and sisters? I see it as scouts. Hélas. I see the scout matching. Hélas. Hélas, oui. Hélas.
So I was the accountant. So I was the accountant for Newfoundland Estate. Reggae Hotel, the fish shop, and he had me doing the accounting for Dominica Club. And he was just paying me a little $100. I think I was doing all the accounting, all the work.
Well, if he's back in, you look like a guy who has been around for a while. You know, so you maybe you're talking about in the 1940s, 1950s, maybe, I don't know, 1960s. But I know I wasn't born when you was accountant, for sure.
little money at these days, in the early days.
In the early days, $100 based of inflation could have been $2,000-$3,000 today. If you're talking about maybe in the 40s and 50s, you get $100. It's something like little money now, but you have to weigh the balance.
And he and Ninian Mary were very, very close friends because he had a son involved in tennis, and he and Ninian Mary were very, very close friends.
His son involved in tennis? Well, that seems like only had many activities in this day and age. Back in the day, I myself said tennis was never something in Dominica. Talk about he was involved in tennis. What? What?
Brbptv. So Ninian used to come there in the office I'm talking about. Ninian was also part of Dominica Club because that's where they were going to play the tennis and so on. And this is how I know about dialysis, because Ninian Mary had to be doing dialysis, and he had to be flown every Monday and every Friday to Barbados to get dialyzed.
Okay.
Yeah, to Barbados. Every Monday and every Friday,
Okay.
he had to go to Barbados to get dialyzed and come back.
So that was way back in the day. But you're talking about in 1960s, 1970s. I know it's not in my day you're talking about, for sure. So, alright. But when I was born, brothers and sisters, I remember they doing operation in Portsmouth. Yes, I remember it well. You see, that brain of mine, brothers and sisters, is as active recall. So I can remember things from long time.
And then Harry Spain bought a dialysis machine and put it at the hospital in Dominica.
Okay, so it's one dialysis.
This is what so that Dominica Hospital could have a dialysis machine. That's the first time. That's how I get to know about dialysis machine.
That's good on the dialysis. That there's more dialysis equipments. That's always a good thing.
So, and that stayed there, and afterwards I think we got another one.
The man is making on the basis of quantity. That is the problem that I have with people, brothers and sisters. Quantity is making the mention of. That's nice that you have dialysis that finally come into Dominica. Great. We're talking about the quality. There's a difference between quantity and quality of healthcare. That is what we're talking about, and you're talking about one situation. That's great. We are there. We have or had. I don't know what is it. If we have the high 40 Hifu or Shifu, you swear it's Kung Fu Panda, or whatever that, there, brothers and sisters, we have it. I don't know what it been used for, or the hospitals rejected it. Dominica take it and say, hey, we are the one with the second with it or the first, whatever, brothers and sisters. I really don't understand. We're talking about the quality of healthcare. Has the quality of healthcare improved in Dominica, brothers and sisters? Help me understand in the comment box below. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me that I confused. I am deeply confused and bamboozled in my mind. My mind has shifted within the crevices of the curves that has confused the cells of memories, brothers and sisters. So I need to know. Help me. Help me in the comment box below, brothers and sisters. Is the quality of healthcare better today than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years, 20, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, brothers and sisters? I remember feeling as a little boy when I used to go to hospital. Back in the day, I felt like I was taken care of. I felt like, I felt like that, In this day and age, when you go to the hospital, you're fearful of dying. And you think, hey, is anything? No, brothers and sisters. If you hear you go hospital, they want to read your rights before. Yes, they want to read your rights before. I'll never forget that a boy went into the hospital for an operation on his hand, and he did not make it out. There's a number of persons that were being flown out of Dominica. There are still people trying to get flown out today. The very Prime Minister himself told the people. It's interesting that I told one of my family members that today on the basis of, certain things. I told him the Prime Minister told his citizens that he can fly his family members outside for medical attention. The same medical attention you think has been good there. He can fly his family members outside for better medical attention. Not just that, brothers and sisters, he has allowed his children as Prime Minister to be born elsewhere so they can get the favors and the opportunities elsewhere that he knows he cannot and did not and will not provide in Dominica. He told his citizens, his followers, that he can send his people overseas and then ask them, what about you? The very Prime Minister you're hoping to organize the very medical care in Dominica is telling you he can send his people overseas and asking you, what about you? But you yourself thinking about it, how are we electing you so you can ensure that we have better medical care? You build a nice building, great. But does the building reflect the true quality of the healthcare as the nice building looks? That is a good question to ask. I was telling you guys back in the day when they were building this phase 1 and phase 2 buildings. I told these guys, I told my Mr. Lex family and other folks on the other channel that I had to delete right there. I told them, guys, so you think making a nicer building will cause the quality of healthcare to increase? Or don't you think you can stay with the same building and give trainings to the individuals so they can better improve the quality of service, not just customer related, not just saying, oh, the medical doctors are neglecting patients and this kind of things there. I've heard this not just in quarantine, in the actual hospital as well. There were medical doctors and nurses that came down to Dominica to check on their family members because they did not trust the very medical doctors. Don't get me wrong, it has some good ones. But based on the system that has been pushed, to one, I literally reported 2 of them. 2 of them are reported. Nurses that came down to Dominica and checked the family members, and they couldn't believe that that is what Dominica facing for healthcare. And Caressa coming and tell people as if people foolish and blind do not see objective reality for what it is. Oh, it's a nice healthcare, not true? But the same all you, when all you fall sick, all you not staying in this hospital, no? No. Well, Joseph Isaac will stay in the hospital. He will be in the Dominica hospital for sure. Because people have seen him there before and take pictures and send for me and think I'm going to post it up. All you know is, say, well, what Joseph Isaac doing there? Well, they don't care for Joseph Isaac. Joseph Isaac in the hospital. Joseph Isaac can't get flown out. You have to stay there like normal and I tell you. Whereas these folks, Caressa them, they can fly it when they're sick. The Minister of Health, former Minister of Health, you know where he sent his family member? The Minister of Health. I tell all you know. When his family member was sick, it's not Dominica, no, she stay. Overseas, she go for better medical attention. And Caressa is coming to tell us that the healthcare is wonder. The former Minister of Health,
So I used one from somewhere, so I stayed there for a long time up till when this government, there was one up till one or used one, I think so, when this government came into office. This machine, so people had to wait to dialyze for one machine. And
well, if it's one that there, obviously people have to wait because it's one that there.
One machine at the hospital. Today you have a whole unit with almost 20 machines.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank God for that. That is a step in the right direction. But we're talking about the quality of general health, brothers and sisters. That is not going up, it's going down. So many people would have been alive today. Oh, not just the other day, the nurses and the doctors and whoever was in charge saying we are running out of certain things and had to close down certain parts of the hospital. Not true. To the point where the new Minister of Health come in and say, hey, we need to check these things, as if this wasn't happening for donkey years. He come in as if it's something new. Man, the other day was making us about paracetamol. No, today they're telling people they need to bring their sheets, they need to bring all sorts of things in the hospital because apparently, boy, and you coming on radio to tell people this tales, this fables. Okay, Papa.
Even Marigot had dialysis machine now. Marigot has dialysis machine now. You understand? So we I mean,
sorry about that, guys, but let's continue right there.
I mean, I just think people have to be fair.
Come on.
People have to be fair. It's not perfect, but you cannot say that is not much better.
Ah, Caressa. Come on, Caressa. Dialysis, there's more dialysis machines. Make point taken. But Caressa, generally speaking, it's like taking one part and say, oh, that part nice. But you have 100 other parts. And you're only focusing on the one part and say, look, it better. So you say, because that one part better, every 100 parts better too, Caressa? Really? Really? When your Prime Minister say he can fly his people out overseas, he didn't say he can fly his people or transport his people to China Friendship Hospital. No, he didn't say that, He didn't say those things at all. You think when they're sick, you see them in the hospital? When last you see a minister of government in the hospital, brothers and sisters? You will see what is his name? Joseph Isaac there. For sure. You will see him there. But when last you see a minister, when President gets, when Charles Savre, when he gets sick, or was getting sick, where he was in the hospital, not overseas, they was flying him. What I know now?
Than what we used to have before. Plenty better. You understand? And in spite of all the challenges, in spite of all.
So the journalist partner in question not asking him how is he generally better? One aspect. Okay, thanks. Okay, that point you make about the dialysis was good. Can you tell us, generally speaking, has the hospital improved? And ask them about how it was back in the day. Was operations being done? Is more operations being done today? Why have operations stopped in certain parts when operations used to be done and surgeries used to be done back in the day? How is it better? To me, when you can do operations, that is better, not true? Because more people can get the same talk. We talk about quantity. If you can do operations in Portsmouth and in Roseau, don't you think it will be better? Then therefore everybody have to go Roseau for operations? Or go Roseau to deliver baby?
We are going through, we can say without a doubt that what is happening up there is plenty better than what we used to know before.
To me, back in the day, I never heard them call the hospital a Brbptv, you know. They never used to call the hospital a Brbptv because the people say this is the place where you go to die. But yeah. Guys, I remember the first time I heard that, brothers and sisters. And then looking at the reports. So when people say certain things, I kind of go back collectively to remember the kind of things I would associate to what the person is saying. And when the person is saying this is where you go to die, brothers and sisters, you reflect all the way back with people I know who should have been alive today. Brothers and sisters, I can think of Elias on the situation where the people came and Elias, my goodness gracious. Elias, at least a fighting chance for that brother right there. I was told that the ambulance or whoever, fire truck or whatever came to take the body, not to help again, no? Imagine that. Imagine that. People that would have been alive today, if they had better training, if they had proper equipment. They had this, I was told that this was the fire ambulance, so to speak. Brothers and sisters, when they opened this door, they had no ventilation, nothing on the man, nothing. With the possibility, boy, tell you, boy.
Before.
Yes, we have challenges. Yes, there will always be challenges, but you can't compare what we had before.
Boy, stop talking nonsense in my head. Stop talking the irrevocable foolishness that you just spewed from your mouth. You're supposed to be wiser. You're an older man, you're supposed to be wiser. How dare you speak this foolishness as if people cannot see with their bare eyes? But it's rather interesting that people also see with their bare eyes. It's like people know and they see for themselves. And they keep doing the same thing over and over, even though they're seeing for themselves. Brothers and sisters, clear example of that. The bus drivers protesting, they themselves feeling the hurt. They hurt. They're protesting for betterment. And bus drivers go to protest against this same bus driver protesting for their betterment. Brothers and sisters, this is not a... sometimes when I my philosophical mind, I don't know, because I'm trying to say it's a human issue, but then again you still say, well, if it's a human issue, it should be pretty much general, brothers and sisters. But I don't think it's a human issue. I think it's an indoctrination issue, because when you look at psychology, brothers and sisters, human beings are creatures of repetition. Just like how people are paying taxes. You pay taxes on your salary. You go to the shop, you pay taxes. The shop people have to pay taxes again, even though you pay taxes. That all kind of craziness happening. All those kind of things. So human beings are creatures of repetition, and it has been a customary. Just like when you see the elections, people know bribery and cheating taking place. Margaret are people filming people passing with money to give people on camera. And nothing has been done in that regard, and people want to pretend as if that doesn't take place. To the point where people think that that is even normal. Human beings are creatures of repetition. And when you come in and spew this garbage, sir, what does that say about you as an individual? You think about these kind of things.
So to what we have there is like night and day. It's night and day. And
radio stations in this.
And then hearing also on Love C tonight talking about there is sojourn in dialysis at the hospital. Or he's satisfied, he's healthy, he takes his dialysis on time, he goes there twice a week.
So why is dialysis only focusing on? That is the only metric? Like I indicated before, if you have 100 parts of a hospital and you see only one part of the hospital and you're focusing on that one part to make the rest of the 100 look nice, you have failed. You have failed in the metric. You keep pointing to dialysis. Why can't you give a number of things? Yes, there's more dialysis that will improve the healthcare for a number of individuals. True. But when we're talking about general healthcare, not everybody need to go and use dialysis. How much people in the population need to go and use dialysis? So if you have 50,000 people, and out of the 50,000 people, Say 5,000 people need to use dialysis, that of which you provide for the 5,000 people. So what about the 45,000 people now that don't need to use dialysis, and that is what you're focusing on? And you say that is better healthcare? Okay.
For 3 hours every session, and he's properly dialyzed, he's healthy, he can walk, he can do his program, and dialysis doesn't. Basically, he was giving the government kudos for and our health services. Kudos for.
I think he was giving kudos to the dialysis. I don't know about the health services. When the very Prime Minister said he can send his people overseas for medical attention.
At least the dialysis machine at the hospital and how people are being cared on dialysis. Because he went on to say there are persons who are 20 years on dialysis. You know, he called a guy named who is 20 years doing dialysis.
Wow.
So that means to tell you this.
So that should tell you that 20 years you're doing dialysis. How long the 20 machines have been there? So that means more people have been on dialysis. So the question I want to ask, why are more people ending up on dialysis? Isn't there something that they are eating, or, you know, diseases can happen, don't get me wrong, brothers and sisters, but shouldn't we try to look into preventative measures of sorts? I heard that the Prime Minister was talking about doing exercise, and I think that's a wonderful thing. I think the Prime Minister saw the carnival videos and saw a set of obese people dancing with strings on them, brothers and sisters. It might look like normal thing on normal people, but when it on fat bodies, brothers and sisters, it looks like strings. And you see these people out in carnival trying. Brothers, guys, forget about that one. I never going to that.
That is tell you what is happening. So those things here, when they go about criticizing and
those things, you only mentioned one thing: dialysis. Let's look at what actually happens with more people, or what is needed by more people. Don't you think so?
Seeing healthy people, health care is them. These are things we never had before. So we have gone a very, very long way in this.
He keeps saying we go very long way in this. No, Dominica has not gone a very long way. Dialysis, sure, you get more dialysis machines. That is a good thing. I think that is a step in the right direction, of course. But general health is needed, brothers and sisters, especially when the hospital themselves complain about not having adequate materials and medication and these kind of things there. That is a culture now in Dominica. In the hospital where they build a nice brand new building with the transfer of the same service transferred to the new building. Poor customer service transferred to the new building. Limited supplies transferred to the new building. Brothers and sisters, growing up, I never knew about limited supplies in medication. No? Never knew about limited supply. Brothers and sisters, you can take x-ray. They used to have x-rays back in the day. And I remember going to Rosewell. That was some years ago. I remember going to Rosewell. A partner tell me that he going to do his x-ray, and he has to wait 3 months. 3 months for him to do x-ray. I said, so my brother, you mean to tell me you have to wait 3 months to do x-ray? Is something have to really happen to you? Huh? No, something happening inside of you. 3 months later, something happening would be worse. You don't think that is. Well, say, well, that is what it have. That's what it have. That was probably, I think that was just after. That's probably in 2019, 2018, around there. 2019, because I remember coming back from States. Yes. And I was there for 3 weeks before I went back. Yes, so it was that. So it was August 2019, around that time.
So what you can do? So what they are doing now, I do not know. You're not good in Creole.
Who are you talking to?
Oh boy. How on earth you can say that the healthcare in Dominica is doing better than it was back in the day? How on earth is that possible? It's like saying the economy is doing better today than it was doing back in the day. I mean, come on! Guys, this is all I have for today on this here Brbptv. I myself, I so vexed, I might not even do another reaction. I might not. But if I do, guys, let me know it. Let me know. I'll post the vlog in the previous vlog, the latest vlog I did, going up in Espanol for you guys. I will. Oh, by the way, and the Voice of Life in the northern part of Dominica is now up. When we went there, we was having some issues. Domlek went there afterwards, and and then they got to go back up there and check it up. But I think right now, Voice of Life in the northern part of Dominica is actually up and running. So, yes, guys. So definitely check out the vlog. I might not do another reaction, but this just côtoyer me. This just bamboozle me, man. This just côtoyer me. Bad. Just lying. Just want to blatantly lie. You getting paid to lie? Maybe that's what it is. I want if you come in a radio station just to lie to the people. Just to tell lie. Well, he did say the truth about the dialysis. That's very true indeed. But general health, come on. Brothers and sisters, this is about Mr. Leaks. Maybe I lie. Maybe me I have that line, brothers and sisters. If I lie, let me know that in the comment box below as well, brothers and sisters. I would really like to get your thoughts on this. Because I might. Brothers and sisters, it's about Mr. Leaks once again. On this Brbptv. Be real. Be positive television, brothers and sisters. Don't forget to click the like button. Click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that. And of course, subscribe to help the algorithms. Well, subscribe for you to be notified when I drop my videos right there, and of course to help the channel grow further and further in that regard. So, once again, guys, be real, be positive.